There is something going on with Donald Trump that even his supporters don't want to acknowledge. His closest advisors are ignoring it because they don't want to endure his wrath. Tyrone Bowman live. Welcome everybody tonight to the program, and I hope you're having a wonderful time looking at the different topics and things that I'm covering here during this campaign season. According to the New Republic, the headline reads Cognitive Decline. Trump stumbles during his New York rally. The former president repeatedly misspoke during his speech on Wednesday. It wasn't too long ago that the media was all over President Biden, remember? He was constantly stumbling, constantly falling up the stairs from Air Force One, falling down the stairs from Air Force One, until eventually they had to get the short stairs for the president to get off the plane with so that he wouldn't have a problem stumbling. Biden was slurring his words. And what was the outcry? He's old. He's declining cognitively. His cognitive decline. Biden must go. He must get out of the race. He's old. You heard it from all the major networks, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox. You heard it from all of them talking about the cognitive decline of Biden. And Biden stubbornly did not want to depart from the presidential race. When Biden failed miserably during the debate, that was the topic for about like a month or more, probably 2 or 3 months. And Biden couldn't get beyond that. Donald Trump was pathetic during that debate. He was miserable. You all can lie and tell yourselves all you want that he did a great job, he won the debate. No, he did not win the debate. He was talking about every dumb thing, dogs, people eating dogs and people eating cats, and blaming the immigration problem on the black migrants who come from Haiti. Baby, really, he really wanted to call them something else. But he knew had he uttered the N-word out of his mouth, black America and the whole world would have been all over Donald Trump. And that would have most assuredly been the end of his campaign. But this can't be ignored. It must be talked about. Trump is 78 years old, soon to be 79 years old. It is apparently evident there is something going on here. There's something wrong. So according to the New Republic, speaking in Long Island on Wednesday, Donald Trump was as bombastic and boastful as ever, but also slurred his words on several occasions. Trump stumbled over words like migrants and Russia, and had trouble stringing sentences together. In another instance, Trump said he was greater than Elvis because, unlike the king, he doesn't have a guitar, a riff that has increasingly featured in his speeches. What does the comparison to Elvis Presley have to do with the upcoming presidential election? Elvis Presley was definitely, without a doubt, the king of whatever genre of music they wanted to call him. I think they called him the king, not just the king of rock and roll. They called him the king, period. He was a great entertainer, mesmerizing, for his time and for his moment. People loved him, adored him. So why are you comparing yourself to Elvis? What does Elvis have to do with the pertinent issues at hand that we all are going to be voting for and about in November? It has nothing to do with it whatsoever. Trump also promoted his wife, Melania Trump's new memoir, but admitted that he hadn't read it and he won't read it either. That he doesn't know what she wrote about him, telling the crowd, quote, "If she says bad things about me, I'll call you all up and I'll say, don't buy it, get rid of it," close quote. Trump's erratic mental state has been on full display as his presidential campaign enters its final months before November. During last week's debate with Vice President Kamala Harris, He went on long-winded rants unrelated to the questions asked. That's what people do. I know many people who have dementia and Alzheimer's. I know a lot of people who are cognitively declining, and they act just like he does. When someone talks to them about it, they get irritable, they get upset, because they want to be in control of their faculties at all times. And they don't think that there's anything wrong with them. In actuality, there is. And I'm going to say it again, it is apparent that there is a problem with Trump. When they put the camera close up on him, you can see how incredibly old this man really is. There's not enough makeup to cover up the age factor. Trump wants to stay stagnant in the past. Vice President Kamala Harris's mantra is we're not going back. And we can't afford to go back. We have to move forward. Now back to the article. His speech patterns and alertness looked vastly different from 2016, as CNN demonstrated in a video comparing last week's debate to one from 8 years ago. Cognitive experts have also compared his recent speeches to ones from years ago and see worrying signs. That is true. When you look at Trump from 8 years ago, he was an entirely different person then than what you see now. And if you think you're going to elect him and put him in the White House and that there's not going to be a problem, listen, President Reagan had Alzheimer's. I don't care what you all say, it was a stipulated fact. They tried to hide it, they lied about it, and they covered it up. Nixon was on his way to become a senile because he definitely didn't know what he was doing toward the end of his presidential run, where he was forced to resign. You got old senators. Look at Senator Mitch McConnell. It's clearly evident that man has Alzheimer's. I don't care what you say, Mitch McConnell has Alzheimer's. Dementia has set in on 2 different occasions. The man didn't even know where he was. When McConnell reads, he's lethargic. He's slow. He slurs his words. He doesn't know where he is half the time. His aides have to carry him. So what's good for Biden is also good for Trump. Trump is old, and he's getting older by the minute. Trump even seems to have his own false recollection of the debate, telling Fox News' Greg Gutfeld about a non-existent audience going crazy for him. Somehow, though, Trump remains neck and neck with Kamala Harris in the polls despite these stumbles. With the election less than 2 months away, will the Harris campaign be able to capitalize? They should be able to capitalize. And that's the end of this video. Never surrender, never quit.